Greetings. This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation, welcoming you to an episode of what we're going to call Relationship Goals in the Art Life. Yes, welcome to everybody who is hearing and seeing me now. Thank you so much for joining me. This will be a part of our new content. We just introduced this content and I decided on the name right after I finished that and posted it. Thank you all who've already tuned in and made that first episode over 40 views. Doesn't sound like much to most folks who are YouTubers, but to us here at ONYXCON as a 501c3 nonprofit, please donate, please subscribe, please show support. It means a lot. Why? Because hell, sometimes we don't get but 8 views depending on what it is. It's a hard thing, this algorithm. It's tough business. But we do have our videos. We have shorts, like 1 minute shorts that have went over 1,000. So, we know it's possible. We know people will look. You just never can tell what's gonna hit, what's not. You do your analytics, you try and figure out, okay, they like that, they like this, they like that, they like this. But at the end of the day, you gotta do you. And whoever's there for that will show up eventually and you'll have your proper audience and it'll grow to the magnitude of numbers that you deserve for what you're putting in. And we're reaching for the millions, okay? Maybe even billions. Let's talk about those and what we're talking about today, because we're talking about a very popular topic, a very popular phrase in the whole dating single life categories of content that you'll find out here. People talking about relationships, people who consider themselves dating gurus and whatnot. I don't consider myself a dating guru or anything, but if anybody wants to crown me that title, fine. If it helps with the hashtag to get us the proper views so that people can see what we're really talking about at large and on multiple levels in this art life, then cool. We're not fighting any other blessings, and I say that non-religiously, make that very clear up front, because you need to know who you're talking to. I mean, if you're going to listen to my content, I like to tell people transparently who I am, what I'm about, so they understand there's me as an individual, Joseph R. Wheeler III, and there's me as the face of ONYXCON, the host of all this different content, but not always, because we got a lot of people involved. Let me not get off on a tangent, but my point of all that is to say, we welcome the blessing. The word blessing is not locked down, owned by religious purposes. So I know if I use certain words, certain people perk up, they're like, oh, man of God. Well, yes, I God all the time, because the etymology of the word is to call upon that which is invoked. So I invoke a certain type of energy in my life. And when I get it, I respond to it worthy, highly favored, blessed. All them words that a lot of folk use. I'm from the Bible Belt. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, right here in ATL, what it do. So what it is, what it ain't, and what it gonna be like a true ATL in it, up in this thing right about now, you understand? So I know I'm saying a lot. I know I'm throwing a lot of curveballs at y'all. Some of y'all are like, wait a minute, what? He said what? And then he said, well, if you're not ready, you probably need to take a minute, go get something to eat and drink, come back and sit down and watch this whole thing, because we got a lot to discuss. What we are going to be breaking down: the value of artists in the dating sphere, and especially from the perspective of a man, because hey, I'm a man, so I'm only going to mostly talk from my perspective. I will say what I know of, ladies. If it fits the topic at a certain point in my discussion, I will make that clear, because I know a lot of wonderful ladies and I can speak on things they've told me and do indirect quotes and things of that nature. But I'm going to mostly be speaking from the perspective of a straight man in the arts seeking relationships, intimate relationships we're talking about. And we want to stress the importance of that in building communities, in building infrastructure, in building healthier lifestyles for everybody. Very important y'all understand where I'm coming from. All right. So with that said, as I always say, if you want to leave comments, we welcome it. Just be respectful. If you're not, you get blocked real quick. 0 to 3,000 real quick. It's not a game. We don't play. No time for nonsense. We just not the ones. So we don't even address that too hard. We just know that it's become so common for people to mouth off and say and do all kind of crazy stuff out here. But just understand, I don't claim insanity, but we all kind of crazy in a crazy world. So don't test nobody's crazy button. Just don't, be respectful. That's all we ask. And understand you will be dismissed if you're not. Point blank and period. On every level. You know what I'm saying? Here and elsewhere. You will be dismissed. It is what it is. Okay, let's get into it. So today's topic is talking about top earning men, high value men as artists, and the benefit of dating, and if you want a long-term relationship, because that's the other thing we want to make clear. On this content, we're not trying to push anybody towards marriage as the end-all be-all. We have some very strong opinions on that. At least, again, speaking from just me, the views and opinions expressed by Joseph R. Wheeler III as the host of this show do not necessarily reflect all of those involved with ONYXCON, volunteers, supporters, sponsors, anybody who is involved. This is just my perspective. It's coming through my filter. Take it or leave it, right? We all dropping our opinions. It is what it is. So, you've heard the term, I'm sure, if you watch a lot of content from, and I gave in my first video props to Steve Harvey, Ayanna Van Zandt, Kevin Samuels, who is probably most relevant right now because he's just popping off the charts with his numbers and doing his thing. Shout out to you for what you do. And I don't always agree. I don't always agree with any of those people I just mentioned. Of all of them, I would say Ayanna might be the one I'm most appreciating the way she has built what she built. And I do appreciate that. But with Steve Harvey and with Kevin Samuels, I have some differences of opinion, as we all will. You know, I have some different experiences that sometimes when they state certain so-called facts or statistics, I say, well, you know, I've lived some of this, and I don't know if that's always true. And I don't know if this is always true. And I tend to find that a lot of times the reason in my research for why that is often headed one way that's not respectful of the broad sphere or more objective is simply because a lot of these people are coming from a corporate standpoint. You know, Kevin is corporate, Steve Harvey deals with a corporate atmosphere, but I can still consider Steve an artist, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. What I define as art and what I define as artist because of that. I've given this definition before many times. I will give it forever and a day because it's tried and proven. It's my personal definition based on all the definitions that have become formal over the years in the English language. But then I take experiences and apply them and take it to a whole nother level that I know is proven. It's absolute fact. So here it is. The definition of art is any and every creative expression that appeals to the senses. Your senses, all your senses, from your sense of touch, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of sight, your visual, and your sense of, which one am I missing? Oh, did I do hearing? Sense of hearing, and your sixth sense, that third eye, that brain, that part of your mind in tune with the universe. Oh yes, yes, we speak of that perspective. That is art. Any and every creative expression that appeals to the senses. Now, who are artists? Anyone who understands how to create something that appeals to your senses. I didn't get it. See, notice how I say this. I didn't say anything about its beauty. I didn't say anything about rating it on a scale of beauty. I didn't say anything about rating the value of an art piece or anything that I consider art. I'm just saying this is what it is. Whether it is appreciated, valued, or not, it is art. Period. Point blank, no debate. It is. It just is. Now, here's where it gets specific in careers. To be a painter, to be a drawer. Of course, everybody always thinks of those things first, most people that don't really fully understand the broad implications of art. And they tend to think, okay, that's where it is. So, you know, oh, my cousin, he likes to draw. He always was so talented with drawing. He is such an amazing artist. Oh, my little girl, she loves to paint. She's going to be an amazing artist. Absolutely. Oh, my other friend, he loves to, you know, he's a musician. Boy, he makes beats and stuff. He's a hip hop legend. Okay. He's an artist. I have a friend who makes scents. They know how to do aromas. They do aromatherapy. They're an artist. You see where we're going with this? Yeah, okay? And it just goes on and on. I got my uncle, he is such a badass. He's a major martial artist. He used to do stunts in Hollywood and stuff, and he still runs a dojo. He's an artist, martial arts. You know, just because it's got the art on it, do you think about, oh, I guess it is? No, with or without the word, it is an art. Every single discipline of martial arts, they are arts, okay? Yes, absolutely. Massage therapy. See, I'm trying to cover all of the senses so you get my point here. We know music, we know visual art. A lot of times people dismiss the culinary. You know, you're a major chef. Somebody who's not even a professional chef just can cook their behind off, and everybody in the family can't wait for them to pull the next thing off the stove. They're an artist. I don't care if they don't call themselves that. I don't care if they don't understand that. The reason why this is societally true, if you look at higher education, which does dictate in many cases how much people will earn, what type of jobs, and what type of lifestyle they are going to be able to access in this system or any system across the globe, because there's different ones and every society values their artists differently. That's a whole nother video. Take some water on that. It's a whole nother one, yeah. Gotta stay focused. I get off on a whole nother soapbox. Yeah. And so because of those differences, those things that, determine people's paths a lot of time with the education. So if you look at college systems, I always say this, I say every college splits up their schools. Whether it's the School of Business, all these different, School of the Arts, Schools of the Sciences. All of them break down into arts and sciences. You get a BFA, you get a what? Bachelor's of Fine Arts. See what I'm saying? In the arts, you got something in the arts, you got a Bachelor's of Fine Arts. Arts, plural, because there's many schools that could have been under that. So you get that degree. You chose whichever path you wanted, you got your degree. All right. If you don't go to college, it does not matter. Societally, it's still all set up based on that system. Why is that? Because of right brain, left brain. One side more analytical, so-called mathematical and all of that, technical, and the other side more creative, emotional, in tune with one's essence. It's all you. You got to put both of them together to do anything. I find that a lot of the issues we have, and no matter where we are in the world as human beings, but especially in this American society, is the split or the more value towards the analytical and less value towards the creative. And only time creative gets value is if we can somehow, meaning those who are more analytical, can somehow manipulate those who are more creative into making those who are more analytical more money, while the other folks stay so-called the poor, struggling artists, the starving artists. I made up my mind a long time ago in high school. I will not play into this game. I shall not be a starving artist. All artists, everyone in our content who is either a creative or an appreciative, someone who is a fan of arts, a patron of the arts, never feed into this mentality. It is the demise. It is the demise of so many better parts of life and a more harmonious human existence. Because the splitting of the brain is where all of the stuff starts. Yeah, all of it starts. All of the issues, all the dysfunction. We're not talking about good and bad, we're talking about function and dysfunction. All of the dysfunction starts with the splitting of the brain and not recognizing both sides of the brain. And even if you are more one-sided than the other, understanding you need both to exist. So never devalue one another. Artists are forced to respect science. I'm talking to you through a cell phone right now. I'm not a technical, gadgety person, but I have to use them to make money, to make appointments, to stay on time, to do all kinds of things in this modern society. I have to use this device. It's how I get my content to you. It's how I load my content onto another technical atmosphere. The internet, which will soon be mostly the blockchain, crypto world, multiverse. I mean, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff we got going on right about now. Wow. Yeah. So, we're getting into the value. What do most people hear all their life, man or woman, boy or girl, growing up, you hear, if you want to have a good job, you need to be a doctor or a lawyer And if they don't stop there, because they're always talking about where the money is, they often say, Dr. Lawyer, Dr. Lawyer, Dr. Lawyer, like a broken record, especially in the Black community. I'm just going to speak from my own perspective. I know this to be true. And then it expanded to, okay, sports and entertainment. It definitely covers that too. And this is kind of universal, but I'm just speaking of what has been most of my experience. Okay, sports, entertainment, Dr. Lawyer. And it almost stops there. Once you get a little older and get more savvy, I'm talking about moving out of the years of the formative years, people get a little bit more specific. They tend to then introduce you to the other options of technology. You can go into tech and make good money. You can join the military. Or you can be in real estate, because there's always going to be money in real estate. And all of this is true. Everything I'm talking about is absolute fact. I looked up the most profitable, this is all going somewhere, dealing with art, trust me. I looked up the most profitable, top grossing industries. I'm looking at my list, so I'm not ignoring y'all. I want y'all to know I'm not the disrespectful host. Don't you hate when people do this content? They looking all around, they doing everything else but looking at you and making contact with the viewer. Trust me, I'm not that person. I'm an actor, so I gotta understand the eye contact. I do that all day, so that's not a problem. I'm not ignoring y'all. I want you to know I'm just looking at my list. I made my notes, and I want to make sure I'm on point, because I hate to think back after I made a video and say, oh my gosh, what was I talking about that? Damn, I should have said I didn't, So, okay. 2021, by the way, this is a top list from 2021. And it said number 15 through number 1. I'll just tell you what 15, the last few, and then I'm gonna jump forward to give you the best. The last on the 15 was online retail. No surprise. It had to be on the list, right? Online retail. I mean, come on, Amazon and all that. What? Real estate development, number 12. So there it is. There's that real estate. Oh, what the heck? I'm going to go through all of these just for the heck of it. Somebody need to know this. Number 11 was information services. Number 10 was semiconductor industry. What is that? That means electronics, like our phones, like iPhones and everything else, and Samsungs and I don't want to start naming companies because they're not giving us any. But if you want to be somebody to support ONYXCON, please, we want to hear from you. Hit us up, onyxcon@gmail.com. We're ready to do business. We are a legit 501c3 nonprofit, always looking to place content with advertising and get what we deserve in that regard. Even before we start getting it through our YouTube, we can place ads in our content. We'll do that for you. Just talk to us. We got our numbers. We're ready to talk to you. Okay. Life insurance is number 9. No surprise again. Insurance bills. I should have said that in my list of stuff that you hear a lot. Number 8, healthcare support and services. Ooh, yeah. Number 7, computer services. All right. Number 6, software, entertainment. Software entertainment. Guess what that includes? Video games. Oh yeah, now we're getting into some real ONYXCON type stuff right now. We're gonna get there. That was number 6. Mind you, this was 1 through 15. We are at number 6. And that's software entertainment. Okay, all right. I'm going somewhere so real with this, y'all ain't ready. But y'all gonna get ready. Some of y'all ready. Some of y'all grinning, y'all like, come on, man, bring it, Joseph. I'm with you. All right. Number 5, household products. You know, what you clean up with, what you use every day, household products. Number 4, oil and gas. We ain't gonna even talk about it. We know how bad it is at the pump right now. The gouging, the craziness, and then the money they making even when they're not gouging it. It is what that is. But we're also moving into a full-fledged tech age when it comes to automotive, and I can't wait to have nothing but electric cars personally. Oh yeah, I'm with it. Personal opinion. Okay. Number 3, drugs and pharmaceuticals. No surprise again. Here we go. Medical. Everything medical. Medical. Number 2, computer peripherals. And number 1, software, like your operating systems, etc. That's like 1, 2, 3 in the top 6, all directly tech related, basically. Software, computer peripherals, and the software that I mentioned that has video games in the top 6. So here's where I want to go with this. And this is where I'm bringing all of this up. Because a lot of people look at that list and they think, okay, so this is why people say, I mean, they might say, why would I date an artist or be concerned with an artist if I want a man who's got the bag? I want a man who can give me a lavish lifestyle, and I want to be a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever rare, Everything I just mentioned on that list, every single thing, and I do mean everything. Test what I'm about to say, and you cannot go around it. Every one of those things makes a profit because of art. And what you talking about? And then he said only a few of them had to deal with art because, see, again, we got folk with this real mental block, this split brain. They put a knife in their own head and they cut themselves over. I'm sorry. Anyway, they doing real goofy stuff, y'all, to make you believe that art doesn't apply where it always does. After survival, there's another one of my great quotes. After survival, this is me talking. And this is nobody else's quote, this is me. After survival is art. After survival is art. Why? Because art is inspirational. Art is imaginative. If you're not using your imagination, if you're not stimulating your senses, you're dead. You can be a walking zombie. Or Walking Dead fans, you can live it. You can live that show. You can be the Walking Dead. Some of y'all already are. Some of y'all already are. Because you're in denial of how powerful art is. And why art has to be respected to balance humanity. To bring back a lot of the order we've been missing for centuries. Okay. Real quick, simple example. That's what I'll do. This is a box of. See, what was I about to say? I'm just gonna speak to y'all. I gotta make my point. I was gonna say Kleenex. This isn't Kleenex though. But why did I first say Kleenex? Because Kleenex took over the market when they developed what we call facial tissues. And as a result, they became the standard name for it. Just like in rideshare, people say, hey, order or what? They're gonna use the U word or the L word. You know what I'm saying? I used to drive for both of them. Left off driving for the L. The pink riders, as I used to jokingly say. You know what I'm saying? The pink, silver, and purple riders. We did it. Oh, shout out to all those folk out there still in the struggle. I'm always supporting my ride share, my honest, respectful, family supporting, self-supporting people out there in the struggle. I know how hard that job is. I did it for years. So anyway, I'm mentioning this to say, I'm not showing you the logo right now, but you do have beautiful packaging here. You have this marble-looking image. Oh, see, now I'm showing the logo. Anyway, who did that? Who made that? Who decided to not just make this a cardboard? We all know that on the inside of this is cardboard. If this was simply just the reverse side and all you saw was that with no print on it, but you saw maybe just the word in block letters, no style at all, just block tissues, facial tissues. If you went in the store and you saw that versus this, right next to each other, you gotta make a choice. They're the same price, the exact same price. Which one you gonna buy? Now, some of y'all just contrary. So I'm gonna buy the one that just says tissue because that's what we need. We need stuff to be simpler. I get tired of all this advertising, but whatever. I'm talking about honest people. For all my honest folk, which one are you going to buy? You're gonna buy the pretty one. Well, I might think it's pretty to look at cardboard with just black letters. Fine. Like I said, I said earlier, all of this can be art. But we deal with the popular arts. ONYXCON focuses on the popular arts in many ways. And the point I'm trying to make, that I know I've made, is that everything you buy, tissue, paper, to even picking your favorite gas station. Some of y'all go to certain gas stations knowing the price might be a little higher, even though it's close to your house. There's 2 gas stations. Both of them, maybe one is 1 foot of a rotation of your tire closer, But you'll go to the one that's further because when you go there, there's a lot of factors involved. Maybe they have sales on certain products you buy, which all are in packaging that you like. And psychologically, just try to imagine everything you ever buy with no packaging. And imagine would you buy it. If it was sitting right next to each other, they all look the same, but they were different companies, but these are potato chips. Those are potato chips. These have cheddar flavor. These have cheddar flavor. But they're just sitting in a clear plastic bag wrapped up and just a block letter, not even block letter. Maybe they stamped the plastic, the clear plastic with a label. You gotta look through, hope the chips are against the bag so you can see that contrast of color to even read with the label. Oh, okay, these are cheddar ones. Okay. And it's by so-and-so company. And none of this is in any fancy lettering. It's just the most simple typewriter font. Because even fonts are an art. I'm a graphic designer too. I'm going all into this, y'all. You would lose your mind, some of y'all. You'd be like, where's my packaging? This is so, I don't know, Some of y'all couldn't deal with it. Some of y'all be like, this is fine, I don't mind. It saves me money because they're not paying, you're not gonna pay as much where you would think you wouldn't pay as much. Let's say you still had to pay the same cost. The prices don't change, but the packaging is just not there. You would be upset a little bit. Your life would be mundane. It would be a little boring as far as what you've gotten used to. Now, we all know there was a time when everything didn't need a package. There were no packages. You went out, you hunted, you gathered. But that's a whole nother level that y'all ain't ready. We're not ready for that video. We do that in other content. You wanna check out ONYXCON fishing tournament. You wanna check me out on the lake, on the river, on the creek, everywhere I can go. The ocean, what you know. I caught it from shark to do the doggone thing and I love it. I do it every day. I was out yesterday. I love fishing. So if you want to see that, you want to see a man who, this is another part of it, y'all. You want to see a man who knows how to do some of these survival skills that people say are the, the basics. A lot of people talk it, but they can't walk it. See, I walk it. I don't just make comparisons to, the where we got the evolution of humanity and we used to be hunters and gatherers. I've hunted. I have gathered. I still hunt. It's aquatic hunting. Fishing is aquatic hunting. I call myself a half pescatarian, you know what I'm saying? I eat mostly fish and other stuff. I still eat my chicken, I still eat other stuff. But if my dad harvests a deer, that's about the only red meat I'm gonna eat all year. I don't even need a steak. I eat a steak or a hamburger from a cow just if I'm out and I'm like, it's grass-fed, it's supposed to not have all that stuff in it, no antibiotics. All right, cool, I'll order this. But I don't even go out because I don't like going out. I don't like restaurants. I don't like trusting other people most of the time. I like cooking at home. We'll get into that on a whole nother episode of this dating experience too. That's a good one. Let me write that down. Can catch his own fish. Ooh, somebody just got happy. I see you. I see you out there. Them ladies started percolating. What's up? So check it, y'all. So back to my point. I'm saying that because we do live in a world of packages. We do live in a world of logos and of color schemes and concepts to sell any and everything. Every single thing from your gas to what you wear itself. This is fashion. This is an art form. This is design. From drawing to sewn fabric. This is an art. To home decor. This is an art. This is an art. To architecture. To what we live in, what we do anything in, the structures that are part of our lives. These are arts. You cannot do it without artists. You will not be successful without artists. You cannot sell it. You cannot package it. You cannot make it appeal to the senses without art. And this is why ONYXCON is here to empower artists and to empower people who respect and love the arts and who love artists. So on a personal level, on an intimate level of those who would or could or should be loving artists, these videos are for you. Let's get into it again. Now, I think I've taken y'all around. Y'all getting the point now. Y'all getting the point. Some of y'all saying having an moment, and it feels so good. I know it feels good. It's gotta feel good. That's what puts some wrinkles in your brain. And they say if your brain is too smooth, you're dumb because you ain't thinking. But when you're thinking, your brain is all wrinkled up. Right now, your stuff looking like a raisin. And I'm so proud to have helped you get a couple of more creases in it. Yes, indeed, you deserve this. Mwah, to all the ladies who needed that. You are so welcome. To all the gentlemen who got something from it, respect, brother. Get it, take it. enjoy it. I'm here to give it. It's what it is. It's what you're supposed to do. Sharing this wisdom, making the world a better place. 501c3 nonprofit ONYXCON. If you're feeling me, hit that donation button over at Venmo at ONYXCON on Venmo. ONYXCON@gmail.com if you want to go to PayPal route. Same company, by the way. I don't mind shouting out PayPal and Venmo because they show love. They show love. They really do. They represent. Yeah. You start an account with them. And anyway, yeah, I'll say it. Somebody might need to know that. If you start an account with them and make it known that you're a legit nonprofit, 501c3, you show them all your paperwork and everything, they give you a benefit for that. You know what I'm saying? Who knew? I didn't know until I started doing it. So I'm just saying, shout that out. I'm with them. I ride with PayPal. I want to be more official with y'all. I want to be able to really just shout y'all out with logos and everything. Here we go again. Logos, power of imagery. Art life. There's no escaping us. We are the reason you are. We make your phone sexy. Think about all the ads you see for Samsung and iPhone. I mean, if it wasn't for us, actors, models, writers, producers, designers that designed the phone, the sleekness of it, the color schemes. There's a reason why rose gold was one of the colors iPhone went with. They could have went with a bunch of different colors. They studied the psychology of what is appealing to your senses. They're not about to bring out a phone with 30 different colors. I mean, they might. They got the money to do it. They haven't done it yet. I forget how many it is, but if I recall, right, it's always right under 4. I mean, if somebody who knows, oh no, it's 6, whatever. I don't know. It ain't 10. They're only gonna give you a few choices. And then hell, if you're smart, you're gonna put a case on your phone like I do, because you drop it, that thing is, wow. What was all that for, right? Anyway. What's up with those people? This is a whole other side trick. Quick tangent. I need a little sound for tangent. Tangent man. What is it with people who don't put cases on their phone? I don't trust y'all. That's a good sign of how people will treat you in life. If they walking around with these expensive ass phones and they ain't bothered to go get a case, what's wrong with that case? This stuff is too fragile. It's too fragile. It ain't made to. It's not invincible, people. The reason why, if you look at that old school methodology of you should be dating, or you yourself and who you end up with should be on the high end if you want to live a certain lavish life. You need the doctor, you need the lawyer, you need the insurance broker, you need the athlete or the entertainer. Now, I'm not going to say anything against any of these for being not true, because they are, but I am going to say for where it applies to the limitation of on that list, those direct artists being, that's just some ink on my finger from me. Yeah, anyway, real artists here. The limitation of this is the stuff you don't even consider art is what you're ignoring, and that's a whole nother sphere of people who could be quality people in your life, and that you should, in environments that you should go to look, versus what is common. What's the average place most people go in American culture to look for who they're gonna end up with? They go to the club. They don't want to admit they on the club, or they on dating apps, which we all are. You know what I mean? We all on the damn dating apps and whatnot. But you in the club. This is a dilemma. People don't realize the other sphere, the other dating market you could be investing in, because they're so busy chasing the doctor, the lawyer, the realtor, and it's all lucrative if that's what you're after, and you want to make sure that your mate has all this money and thing, right? Which should not be the first focus of a relationship, but we're just dealing with it today. We're just gonna keep it monetary today. We'll get into the emotional and all that much later in our further episodes after you guys react to this and make this a viral video. Thank you very much. You're missing the lottery. What's the lottery? The lottery of artists.